Hey everybody, it's been a long time, I know. Apologies for that. So what started from my last video was I had family come over for the following week, and I used this room as a spare bedroom while they slept in our room. And then the next week we surprised my mother-in-law with one of her best friends by flying her down here, and then she stayed for that week. And then things just kept getting a little bit crazier. So what I'm doing is not just kind of re-announcing, but I'm kind of practicing what I preach a little bit. And in a previous video, I'd mentioned things like, being transparent or finding somebody to trust to talk to. And the only way I can think about doing that, the only way that makes sense to me, is to kind of air it here. And I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. But it's mainly as a lead by example thing, and say, hey, you know what? You can admit you're going through things, and don't take stoicism to, some absurd level. You don't have to internalize everything and keep it. And obviously, I've spoken with the people I love, the people I care about. So basically, in February, I'd noticed a bump here on my forearm, and you could see that scar right there. Uh, what happened is at first I thought it was a bite. It was slightly itchy, but it just steadily kept growing. So while I was at one of my, normal checkups, I said, hey, can you send me somewhere, maybe a dermatologist, or refer me something? Because this thing's growing and there's something lumpy underneath. So they're like, okay, well, it's probably some kind of cyst or whatever. Uh, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Some people said it could be a lipoma, which is a fat tumor, right? Benign. So fine. It took like 3 months for me to get this appointment to the dermatologist, but they were great. It was all local anesthetic, and I kind of watched because I'm like, when are you ever going to see the inside of your arm, right? So as they were taking stuff out, the sac that was inside kind of looked like, this is going to sound crazy, but if you ever, for those of you who've eaten Spam or any canned meat, you'll notice there's like this gray kind of gelatin surrounding it. Anyway, it looked like that, but kind of weird and veiny and stringy. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. So apparently, like, this is what you want every doctor to say, right? Oh, we've never seen this before. So that was cool. I had to wait a couple weeks to get the lab results. The results were myofibrosarcoma, which is a rare cancer, and it usually hits extremities, from what I've read. Um, the cool thing is that you know the dermatologist didn't know what they were removing, so I'm having surgery this Friday to go back in and remove like a huge chunk of this. And what's going to happen is I'm going to be left with kind of an open wound, and then a sponge packed in there, and a thing called a wound vac will be on there to kind of keep the blood flowing and you know remove any excess stuff that doesn't belong there. I don't know. This is all new to me. So that's really the plan. The reason I'm mentioning it is because, when people heard what it was that was in me, you know, uh, they were really scared, and nobody likes the C word, and nobody likes, knowing that it's rare. What's rare? Winning a lottery. I wish that kind of rare thing would happen to me, but you know what? It is what it is. I've gotten like a few additional scans. I've had multiple chest scans. All of them show no metastasis. It hasn't metastasized. Looked, got my arm checked out again for part of my pre-op procedures. Everything looks good. So, knock on wood. Um, it's all good. And I don't know if you're a believer or not, but I am, and God's in control. When it's my time, it's my time, right? Isn't that what everybody says? You get the patches, memento mori. Remember, you will die. Right? I'm not making fun of Stoics at all. I appreciate it too, but in this day, everybody thinks they're some kind of warrior scholar, and it's kind of over the top. So I'm coming straight at you, letting you know I am going through something. Don't need help. I'm just being transparent and honest. Um, and I'm not suggesting you do the same, but I'm hoping this example will say, hey, maybe I'll talk to my friend and let him know everything's not okay, and that's okay. Or maybe you'll open up to somebody and say, you know what, I'm at my wit's end with my job. I don't know how to talk to my boss. I know way too many people who internalize that, and a couple things happen, right? They can either shut down and just stop performing. That apathy sets in. You stop caring, or on the other hand, you're so amped up and so upset that you start lashing out at the wrong things and wrong people. Um, so that's all I'm really trying to do. After this is done, and I have this really cool Pip Boy for all my Fallout players, I get my Pip Boy, and then that's going to be a while. They're going to graft some skin. They're going to kind of take off a shaving of thigh skin. They're going to put it over there. Hopefully that'll take. And then I'm looking at daily radiation for 6 weeks. What's cool, what's really got me comforted by this is uh, the guy who's doing my radiation. It's going to be photons. So this is cool. It's like Star Trek, right? I've got photon beams hitting my arm. But what the doc, he was involved like at UCLA when the sarcoma studies were really beginning, and there was kind of like this pilot program. And for him, it's like I don't know if you've heard of frequency bias, but it's when you think more things are going on than there really are, but they're really not. It's just you hear it on the news or you hear it publicly more often than you ever used to. Well, this was kind of him with that. He said, I never realized so many people, but then he realized, well, this is the first launch, and these people are from all over, the United States. So this guy's got 20-year background in these things, and he was really nice, really reassuring, and kind of just made it really simple what the process would be. In fact, I liked him so much that I'd rather drive, an hour and some change every day than go to the place that's closer to me, just because of the pedigree, the breadth of experience, and the compassion there. So, that's really it. So, my brain just kind of started churning, and I was like, okay, what can I do with this? So I've come out, I've admitted something is not quite optimal, right? And like I said, I'm not looking for anything for you guys. I'm just trying to kind of show the way, right? What you do with it is up to you. Um, so I'm going to start, get back on my series with, what do you do when, you've got a limb practically, out of the way and you're not used to that at all. So maybe I'll chronicle some of that if that's interesting to you. Drop a comment, let me know. What would you like to see? Like, how am I adjusting? Obviously, my right hand's my dominant hand, but I do a lot with my left too. I'm ambidextrous. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, I should be able to move it. Like, I think I can type, thankfully, because I type for a living. So, but, we'll see. This is all new for me, for you, obviously. But let me know what you think.